We live in a world obsessed with the noise of expectation. From the moment we breathe, society whispers the path we must follow: education, career, marriage, children. Yet, there are those among us who silently refuse this script, not out of fear nor rebellion, but out of a rare clarity of mind. They see the weight of responsibility, the chains of distraction, and they choose self-mastery over the illusion of obligation. To reject parenthood is not to reject life. It is to embrace a life free from distractions that cloud judgment, free from attachments that weaken the soul. Seneca once reminded us, "He who is brave is free." And in this freedom, we find the power to cultivate ourselves, to refine our character, to pursue virtue above fleeting social approval. They understand that the most profound legacy is not the body we leave behind, but the mind, the wisdom, and the strength we cultivate in solitude. We who seek this quiet mastery recognize that emotions, especially those imposed by tradition, must not dictate our path. To live fully is to discern which responsibilities serve the soul and which enslave it. Those who refuse to have children are often not selfish. They are warriors of thought, guardians of their inner citadel, aware that true influence begins with mastery over oneself. In silence, in the refusal to conform blindly, they wield a rare form of power. It is a power that cannot be stolen, a freedom that cannot be measured, a life lived entirely on terms of reason, fortitude, and self-control. Those who consciously choose not to have children often possess an acute understanding of cause and effect, a principle central to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." They see that bringing a new life into the world is not merely an act of joy or love, it is a lifelong responsibility, one that will consume time, energy, and emotional equilibrium. For them, the mind is sacred territory. Every moment spent caring for another, while meaningful, is also a moment in which one sacrifices the cultivation of virtue, self-control, and inner tranquility. These individuals have learned the subtle art of discerning what truly belongs to them and what does not. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By refusing parenthood, they exercise this freedom. They refuse to bind their existence to societal expectations, recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from performing roles imposed upon us, but from mastering oneself and embracing a life of purpose, clarity, and deliberate choice. There is also a resilience in their solitude. In a culture obsessed with family and legacy, choosing to remain childless often invites scrutiny, criticism, and misunderstanding. Yet they endure. They transform societal pressure into a test of character, a chance to strengthen patience, fortitude, and inner resolve. They understand that external validation is a fleeting illusion, and only the cultivation of reason and virtue offers lasting satisfaction. In truth, these individuals demonstrate a profound psychological insight. Happiness and power are found not in fulfilling every expectation, but in controlling one's own path. By prioritizing self-mastery, freedom, and deliberate living, they exemplify the essence of Stoicism, a quiet strength that refuses to bend to the whims of convention. Those who consciously decide against having children often embody a rare clarity of vision, a mental discipline that many never attain. They see life not as a series of obligations imposed by society, but as a canvas upon which every action carries consequence, both internal and external. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." For them, raising a child is not inherently wrong, but it is a commitment that consumes vast portions of time, energy, and emotional focus, resources they prefer to invest in self-mastery, pursuit of wisdom, and the cultivation of virtue. They are acutely aware that external pressures to conform often obscure the most profound truths about one's life and potential. By choosing to remain childless, they exercise control over what truly belongs to them: their attention, their energy, and their capacity for deliberate action. Epictetus reminds us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." They confront societal judgment, the subtle and overt pressures to adhere to tradition. not with defiance or resentment, but with calm, reasoned resolve. In doing so, they demonstrate fortitude, a hallmark of Stoic thought. Every moment of solitude, every choice against conformity, becomes a practice in self-command, a reinforcement of their inner citadel. There is also a profound empathy hidden in this decision. People who avoid parenthood often recognize the gravity of responsibility, the weight of shaping another life. They understand the potential for failure, the inevitable suffering, and the unpredictability of existence. By abstaining, they prevent the imposition of their will on another soul, unprepared to inherit it, displaying a deep ethical insight. Ultimately, these individuals illuminate a Stoic truth. Mastery over oneself and one's desires is the foundation of freedom and peace. By refusing to submit to expectation, they preserve their autonomy, sharpen their mind, and cultivate a life of purpose unmarred by distraction or obligation. In their quiet rebellion against convention, they reveal an extraordinary psychological sophistication, a life lived deliberately, guided by reason, and fortified by virtue. People who choose not to have children often possess a rare sense of self-awareness, an understanding of their limitations and priorities that most ignore. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In choosing a life free from the responsibilities of parenthood, they demonstrate an acute awareness of the power of their own focus. They understand that time, once spent, cannot be regained. Every decision, every commitment carries a weight that shapes not only their own existence, but also the lives of others. By refusing to bring a child into the world without absolute conviction, they show discipline, a mastery over desire that is central to Stoic thought. This decision is not born of selfishness, but of clarity. To willingly assume the burden of another life without readiness is to court chaos, distraction, and emotional turbulence. Epictetus teaches, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Those who abstain from parenthood recognize that freedom, the freedom to cultivate their mind, to refine their character, and to live intentionally, is the highest good. In doing so, they reject the societal pressures that equate reproduction with purpose. Instead, they define meaning on their own terms, constructing a life built on reason rather than compulsion. Furthermore, there is an ethical dimension to their choice. By abstaining, they acknowledge the responsibility and unpredictability inherent in raising a human being. They understand that the act of creation is not merely biological, but moral and psychological. They spare another from the potential negligence or misalignment of a life unprepared to nurture it. In this, they embody a quiet virtue, acting with foresight and compassion without seeking recognition. Ultimately, people who do not want children embody a form of mental and emotional fortitude. They resist external expectations, maintain clarity of purpose, and navigate life with deliberate intention. Their path is not one of convenience, but of discipline, a life aligned with reason, self-control, and ethical reflection. In their choice, they reveal a profound Stoic truth, that the mastery of oneself, the governance of one's desires, and the deliberate shaping of one's life are the greatest markers of wisdom and inner power. If this video helped you see life through a sharper, more disciplined lens, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Join us as we explore the hidden psychology of strength, self-mastery, and inner power. Remember, the mind you train today shapes the man you become tomorrow. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and we'll see you in the next video.